Hi guys, good morning. Welcome to January's live video of the month. Sorry, I pulled up my YouTube app. I'm trying to watch myself. Just because I'm curious about what it looks like from my phone. So it's pretty interesting. Anyway, that's so cool. Okay. First things first, I want to go over some updates. So I want to ask you guys, just my current YouTube community and anybody else that pops in who is new here, feel free to contribute in the live chat as well. I want to know what kind of podcast topics you guys would like me to expand on, provide insight on, even channel on, and just make an entire episode on that. Like I said in the past, I'm totally open to that idea. I'm actually thinking about starting like an Instagram, like weekly kind of schedule in my Instagram stories just to advertise my podcast episodes, get some suggestions and feedback from you guys. If it's easier to interact on Instagram or over here, whatever, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I love receiving those suggestions and expanding on those. Okay, second thing is my Heal Your Inner Creative Spark meditation is now uploaded on my Patreon channel. So you don't have to be a member to buy that, subscribe to it, keep it. You literally can just pay for it one time. Here's the thing though, that meditation that I created, oh my gosh, I was not expecting it to be as intense as it was. I literally had to like stop and like breathe deep as I was recording that meditation because I thought that I had already done all the healing for that meditation in the first place. And so like when I was walking through it and working with the different energies and I was basically teaching you guys and like doing it on myself all over again, you can hear me in the meditation just kind of stop, like, you know what I mean? Like it was really intense. Like the energy was so intense that I had to take a second to breathe every now and then. So, and that is why I made that meditation. That's why I charged a price for it, because it was like an energetic barrier to those who are not ready for that kind of energetic intensity yet, because a lot of people's bodies need to get to a certain level of being healed basically in order to handle that intense energy. And I know for a fact years ago I would not have been able to handle that because my nervous system needed a lot of healing, my body needed a lot of healing, my brain needed a lot of healing. So yeah. So to all the members who join, it will be $5 because like I said, there needs to be some kind of like energetic filter for that specific collective. So even though you are a member, that doesn't mean like, oh yeah, I can handle this. Like, no, there was definitely like a, hey, you need this for them too kind of thing. So yeah, those who feel really like intuitively guided and drawn to that meditation, that's how you will know it is for you. Okay. So I'm just going to recap really quick on Patreon. That is uploaded. And if you are a member, if you are part of the membership group, it will be $5. If you are not a member, it will be $25. So, and then reiterating Patreon really quick. So Patreon is now officially my virtual community membership platform. Okay. So there I'm going to be doing personal dream interpretations like I did yesterday. So if you guys haven't seen that live YouTube video that I did, dream interpreting my Holocaust dream, that was pretty crazy. Go check that out. I will be doing channeling. So if you guys want me to channel for you, if you have any questions, or if you just want to know something about anything, I can channel for you guys. Spiritual and life advice. I get a lot of requests on LinkedIn for life coaching, relationship advice, all those kinds of things. And then in my personal day-to-day life, I get all kinds of spiritual questions, like spiritual advice. So I do both. I will be doing both in that membership as well. So if you're feeling kind of like lost, I'm definitely going to be the lighthouse for you if that resonates. And we're going to do a lot of emotional healing. Okay. So if you were told that you were too sensitive and you were constantly criticized for feeling your emotions and expressing your emotions, and you went through severe narcissistic abuse, then that community is going to be most definitely for you. So I just want to recap really quick that I can do a lot of things as a psychic, intuitive healer, energy healer, whatever you want to call it. But I would say I specialize in sexual trauma, abuse recovery, narcissistic abuse recovery, and feminine energy healing. Okay, those would be like my top 3 things. But obviously from all my past YouTube videos, you guys can see that I do more than just that. So yeah. Anyways. Okay. And then last but not least, oh yeah, I forgot. I did mention these updates in my dream interpretation video, but just really quick, I will be doing 3 podcasts for January, February, and March during this next 3-month cycle that we're in. I will be doing 2 YouTube videos per month now. I will keep reminding you guys about Patreon and all the new people who do keep showing up. I checked my YouTube analytics, and the majority of people that watch my videos are brand new people who come in every single time. So welcome if this is your first time here. It's great to have you. I'm exploring with Lemon 8. I guess it's kind of like an offshoot of TikTok, and I don't know what's going on with TikTok. I don't know. Yeah, I hear not at this time. Like, what's the future timeline of TikTok? So, and I felt intuitively last year not to severely invest a lot of time into TikTok as well. So, yeah. And then, yeah, my goal is to finish writing my autobiography this March, by the end of March. I'm not going to publish it, but I will finish it, hopefully, because there's been a lot of stuff that's been coming up in my consciousness, and I'm having to go back and be like, where do I need to add this, like, in my story? And one of the biggest reasons why it's taken me so long to finish this novel is because I wanted to include my success. I wanted to include what it was like growing up, like super poor, super broke, super dysfunctional, and then now having my own 5D freedom living situation. Like, I wanted to have my success story for each thing, like my living situation, my financial situation, my career situation. Yeah, I'm getting so many messages this morning. Jeez. I just heard somebody say it's okay not to have everything like right now in this moment. So thanks for that reminder. Anyways, but I just wanted to have that success, to not even have it, but to embody it, to show you guys that, hey, I literally came from absolutely fucking nothing, and it took me years to heal, and here I am now on the other side, and if I can do it, you can do it too. Like, I just want to be that beacon of light and that inspiration for a lot of people who go through that dysfunction and have no idea how to even get out of it, have no idea that they're in it, you know what I mean? So yeah, anyways, okay. And then what else? Okay, yeah. Last thing is the content that's most requested right now in this current cycle is cord cutting, narcissistic abuse trauma, and my creative energy healing techniques. So I decided that my next video for February is going to be a cord cutting video with financial adversity. So a lot of souls contract financial adversity. What is that, right? Financial struggling and not knowing how to budget it and being reckless with your money and not generating enough money, right? Like, so that's going to be a fun video. I can't wait to go over that. So I'm going to do a live video of cord cutting with those contracts, how narcissistic abuse can play into those contracts, and then also using my creative energy healing techniques that I came up with to help you guys heal from that, navigate it, and move on from it. So yeah, let's get into today's reading. We're going to be pulling from the Divine Feminine Oracle deck. So this deck right here. And then also I felt called to pull one card from the Starseed Oracle. So what is a Starseed? It's basically a soul that's not from this planet. Like, you're not like an Earth soul, I would say. You know, it's like you're a high vibrational soul that originated from somewhere else, either in this universe or a different universe. Yeah, starseeds. I honestly, I know I'm a starseed, but I don't know everything about like the actual description of what one is. I know that there's multiple interpretations out there, and that's one of the things that I haven't discovered the entire truth of that yet. So I don't like to talk about that because I don't know the entire truth and the entire perspectives of what exactly a starseed is, you know what I mean? So yeah, anyways, when I access that information, I will most definitely relay it. Okay. So now let's get into the channeling. Okay. 1 second, guys. So yeah, right now I'm setting the intention to call in the specific collective that needs to hear this reading. whether it's today live on January 7th, 2025, or just whenever they watch it, whenever they are aligned to watch this video. Yeah, there's 7 cards I need to pull, and there's 1 card that I need to pull from the Starseed deck. Okay. All right, what does this specific collective need to know about feminine energy at this time? I will say this. When I was planning my January video from last month in 2024, I had this crazy intuitive ping of like, you need to do a channeling on divine feminine energy for the collective next month. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, and that's how this deck got picked. I've already had 1 come out. I like to shuffle like until they jump out, because for me that represents like the universe being like, hey, this is super important right now. It's like the cards are like, hey, get my attention. I need you to read me in a way, and I like it. One of the things I've been exploring recently is like trying not to be so serious with like my psychic stuff, and just like learning to enjoy it and have fun with it, and almost like be in this like childlike energy of play and like creation. And what's really funny, not funny, but what's really interesting is I didn't even get to experience that sensation in my childhood because of my crazy ass upbringing. And so it's like after all the energy healing that I've been doing on myself, I've been reconnecting with that feeling. And I'm like, oh, that's what I was supposed to be feeling in childhood? Okay. This is what it feels like to not take things so fucking serious. Like, this is what it's like to, it's like almost this energy of like, I don't want to grow up in a childlike way. Like, this is just so fun. I don't want to grow up. I just want to enjoy my childhood. Like, that's what it feels like. So for those of y'all who didn't basically experience childhood like me, like, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you didn't get to experience that at all. So, and the only way I got to re-experience that energy and that feeling is by doing energy healing on myself. So, yeah. Let's see. I need 5 more cards. Yes. No. Yes. No. No. Yes. 2 more cards in this. Yes. Okay. Okay. Then I want to pull a Starseed card. Okay, what does this collective need to know around the Starseed deck? Oh, you know what? That's what it was. I did this journaling prompt the other day. I was actually using ChatGPT to come up with some journaling prompts, but yeah, there were these 2 questions that came up, and one of them was, if your inner child could say exactly what it wanted to say to your parents back then, like, what would it say? And I just free wrote, like, journaled it. There was a lot of cursing, but I was honest, and I was like raw and vulnerable, and I think getting that out of me just helped me reconnect back to that childhood innocence, if that makes any sense. So, okay. Ooh, I kind of want to flip that over last. All right, here we go, guys. First card is Akilanda, the goddess of never broken. Everything happens for my liberation. I choose to become only more love. They're kind of hard to see because of like the lighting, but yeah, that's interesting. I am not getting anything intuitively, so I'm going to look in the book. Akilanda. 26. This is funny. Okay. This is literally crazy. Okay, this says, Akilanda represents the essence of the phoenix. She's the indestructible energy that embraces change. She knows that everything is conspiring to transform her into only more love and light. That reminds me of this TikTok video I watched last night about how diamonds are only formed by going under crazy pressure. You only make olive oil from crushing olives. That's the kind of energy it's giving. It's like badasses, like true badasses go through like the worst of the worst had come out like a diamond. Okay. She is an intimate interior goddess that we meet when we are in the darkest moments of grief and heartbreak. This is crazy. This reading is like for me just as much as it is for you guys. So this is crazy because I literally am in the process of unpacking stuff around low self-esteem and shame, which is directly connected to the narcissistic abuse that I endured. So that's kind of wild. Her energy is showing up right now. She shows us where our energy is trapped, where we have been stifled in routines or others' expectations of us. She whispers the liberation we will experience once we let ourselves break open and allow the new expression of ourselves to come blazing through. Interesting. I feel like there's some Kali Ma work that needs to be done. This is deep. I do want to read this really quick. Many of us exert tremendous energy in the effort to not break or fall apart. We resist our grief, our heartbreak, or we deny the need to change until the choice no longer feels like it's ours. Oh, that's so deep. Something sideswipes us in our ordinary life and shatters who we think we are and how we identify ourselves. When you do go through narcissistic abuse, you do develop this confusion around your identity. You have no idea who you are. And so it's like you're trying to constantly like connect with stuff that you think like who you think you are, but it's really not who you are. So deep. It is so deep. Vulnerability is our greatest strength. If we are always broken, we can never break. Interesting. That's so deep. That just hit me deep. Okay. So she shows up in moments when we feel most alone, most exposed, and most afraid. She models how to thrive in the midst of change. We are here to let our ideas of ourselves go up in flames so that beneath the ashes, the soft core of who we truly are arises. And so that we remember that it's not the heart that ever breaks, it's the ego. The heart only ever expands. Deep. We'll say this though, physical heartbreak is a real thing. Like there is actually scientific documented evidence on heartstrings. I'm pretty sure it's heartstrings that actually break during a heartbreak, which is crazy. I feel like a heartbreak is one of the most excruciatingly painful things that a human being can ever experience in one of their human lifetimes. But non-physically, our hearts, my heart looks like a golden light portal. And so that sentence makes sense to that the heart only ever expands. They should really say the non-physical heart instead of the heart in general. But anyways, so this is the meditative question. What heartbreak can I see now as an opportunity to expand? This is crazy. For me, this is like, I feel like, and for you guys too, this is not just like a relationship, like boyfriend, girlfriend heartbreak. This is like an inner child heartbreak of never having the parents that you needed to love and care for you. Like you never had the healthy parents to listen and care for you and actually give a fuck about your feelings and listen to what you had to say. Right? Like, so how can we see that heartbreak as an opportunity to expand? Everything happens for my liberation. I choose to become only more love. So interesting. How can we expand from that? My thing is, one way we can expand from that is being the parents to ourselves that we never got, that we never received. You know what I mean? So How can you be your best inner mother? How can you have your best inner father, right? Like, I would say I need to do some inner dad healing for sure. I actually channeled that yesterday when I was at the grocery store. But I think about like my current life right now, and I always cook myself, like I would say 95% of the time, maybe 99, because I absolutely love cooking. I like barely go out to eat anymore. Like I love cooking myself, nourishing meals in the morning, in the evening, or just whenever I want to eat. And then I always stay on top of my bills. So it's like I'm always like making sure I'm structured and providing for myself, right? I've got that masculine energy. And I think, wow, like the stuff I'm providing for myself, my dad can never and still can't. You know what I mean? It's like sad. It's really sad. And vice versa. I'm doing stuff for myself in a motherly way that my mom would never and can't. So sorry, guys, my cats are playing. I don't know if you can hear them running. So yeah, it's like, how can you be more of like a mom and dad to yourself in like the highest vibrational way, which is going to result in you getting closer and closer and closer to your highest levels of freedom in your relationships, your best relationships. So yeah, anyways, no way. The next card is Kali. Why did I feel like I already knew that? That is literally crazy. Oh my God, it's time to do some Kali work. Oh God. I release all that doesn't serve me. It's time to be the truth of who I am. Oh, I want to read hers. Oh my God, I want to read her card. Where's Kali? 64. I did an oracle. I did Kali Ma's oracle card reading like a couple months back, I'm pretty sure, on my live YouTube chat. So go look at that. If you have no idea who she is and her energy and you're feeling kind of like lost right now, I would go watch that. It's kind of intense. But basically, I would say Kali Ma is like the mother, the divine mother of the universe. Like, not like source mother, but pretty close. Like, she's pretty close. And I say that because she's like a secondary life force energy, not the pure life force. So, but yeah, she goes like, hey, like, you see this bullshit that you're trying to like hang on to? You see this facade that you put on when you're around certain people? Like, you see this mask that you're wearing right now? Yeah, I'm going to just take that from you because you don't fucking need it anymore. Like, she's literally so intense, but so loving at the same time. You know? It's like the most pure, honest love, I would say. I think that's why I resonate with her so hard, is because I have that honest energy, like that Sagittarius truth telling energy. So I just totally relate and I totally feel her. So let's see. Kali embodies the ultimate wake-up call to get us aligned as soon as possible with what we have come here to do. This Hindu goddess is the most fierce form of the dark divine feminine. It's funny, I was in my dark feminine energy yesterday. She is that which brings all things to life or to an end. Her name comes from the Sanskrit word meaning the fullness of time. Seriously, get out of my water. Go away. Now the cats want to mess with me now that I'm trying to do a reading. Go away. Okay. So she's often pictured holding the severed head of a demon, which represents the ego or false beliefs and illusions. She's like a mother desperate to grab her beloved child from out of harm's way, willing to yank them from the path that they were on in order to bestow freedom. I feel like that's like a really good sentence to describe her. Interesting. Ooh, this is coming up for some of you. And Kali is the feminine that's called on when the masculine has gone out of balance within us and in the world. So I feel like for a lot of you, a lot of this collective, a lot of you are too concentrated on your masculine energy, your go, 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 structure, logic. Okay, like you're too much. You're not slowing down enough. There's not enough relaxation taking place. You're not allowing yourself to receive it's like you're running. You're running a marathon and you're just refusing to stop and take a drink of water. You're refusing to stop sweating. You're refusing to take a break. You're just like wanting to go, 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 go and just gas yourself out. And it's time to like wake up and be like, hey, I'm gonna take a break for a second. I'm gonna take like 2 hours to myself and go take a nice spiritual bath with some crystals, candle, and a book. Or I'm gonna do like a really nice skincare routine in my face tonight so I feel really good when I go to sleep. Right? Like whatever it is that relaxes you, I'm gonna go for a swim, whatever it is that helps you connect to that. I don't have to care. I can just relax. Like that when you get a massage, okay, going to get a massage is really good too. Whatever it is that is for you, try to do that at least once a week. Okay. And then work your way to like 3 times a week, 4 times a week, and then trying to find something every day. Okay. My current challenge is I'm trying to relax and receive for at least 3 hours a day. And I'm trying to figure out how I want to make that happen. Sometimes I do it by taking a bath. Sometimes I do it by my energy healing. Sometimes I do it by reading. Sometimes I do it just by watching TV. Okay, like it is okay to watch TV and relax and unwind for 3 hours. Like that is a way to relax and receive. All right. I feel like that only becomes a problem if you don't have your priorities in check. You know what I mean? So make sure your bills are paid. Make sure your house is clean. Make sure you don't have nothing to do. And then like reward yourself with something that is going to help you relax and receive. Okay. Oh yeah. I'm feeling called to share this. Lately, I've been programming my water, just like whatever I drink in my glass and also my water bottle on the go that I take when I leave my house, is I program it to make my life easier. I will say, okay, I now set the purest intention at the highest vibrational frequency to program my water with energies and frequencies that make my life easier. That will also help you relax and receive into your feminine energy as well, like when you're not even trying to think about it. So, okay, back to Kali. Yeah, I don't feel called to read this, but I do want to read the soul meditation. What is falling away from my life right now that no longer serves? Ooh, oh my God. I feel like identity is coming up for me and for this collective. Identity. Ooh, some of y'all old jobs. Some of y'all are about to lose your job. Maybe you're quitting. Maybe you're about to get fired. I hate to be the messenger of bad news. That is just what's coming through. Oh my God, the last time I channeled that for a friend, I channeled that he was going to get fired and he literally did the next day. And I didn't want to say anything because I was like, I don't want to wish that on somebody. And I feel like if I speak it out loud, that I'm wishing it on somebody, but I really wasn't. Like that was like what was coming, So, oh, that's crazy. So identity and job loss. What else? Ending of certain friendships. Okay, so some of y'all are going to have friendships that are just no longer serving you, that are falling away naturally, organically on their own. And it's okay. You don't have to feel guilty. I feel like there's this guilt that we all naturally feel when we start outgrowing friendships. We start outgrowing other people and we're like, I love you so much and you're just such a cool person. And it's not that I don't want to stop talking to you. It's just that like, I can't relate to you anymore because this newer, truer version of me, like, just needs different things. And like we just served each other's purpose when we did. And like, now it's time to like move on. And it's so hard to do that. It's so hard. I know I personally have a hard time doing that. I have a hard time letting friends go because I'm like, I love them and I never like wish anything bad on them. I'm always like, thank you so much for meeting me. Like when you met me, and I'm like grateful now that I'm like, I've grown and that you've grown, so. Yeah. So identity, job loss. Yeah. So it's like we're all going through this collective rebirth and death energy around these themes. Yeah. It's interesting. Friendships, job loss, and identity. Oh my God. That's crazy. That's pretty crazy. And also like, it doesn't mean necessarily job loss as well. I mean, that is true for some of y'all, but also there's another piece here where your job, your career, your business, whatever it is that you're doing is going through a death and a rebirth process right now. And it's not something that just happens in one night. That is something that collectively happens over the course of months, can be years, but this one feels like months. Yeah, it feels like months. Okay. So here's the mantra for that. I release all that doesn't serve me. It's time to be the truth of who I am. That's pretty crazy. You know what? Oh my gosh, I just had this idea. I'm going to include this. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Cord cutting with old identity. I'm going to say identities just in case. Old identities, job / career, and friendships. Okay, cool. Okay, guys, since this is the current message, and we're at 30 minutes, so I feel like this would be too long to wait to do because I only have a couple more cards left. But if you guys want, I can do a cord cutting video with old identities, jobs and career and friendships, like this old energy that Kali is bringing up at this time. So, yeah, if you guys want me to do a video on that, like right after I post this live video, after I finish running all my errands today, I can do it. I can come back later tonight and do this, which would be really fun, actually. I'm getting my brows done and I'm getting them tinted, so they might look kind of funky. So I don't know. I don't know if I want to be on camera for that, but I totally would because I don't really care. But yeah, February's video is going to be cord cutting with financial adversity. So that's going to be a big video. So I'm probably not going to have enough room and space for that. But yeah, if you guys want me to do a video on cord cutting with old identities, jobs, career, and friendships later on tonight, like this video, engage in the live chat, comment, seriously. And if you guys don't engage while I'm gone the rest of the day, then I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to do it as part of my energy healing routine. So y'all have to let me know. Okay, moving on. I want to do 2 cards at once. No way. Isis and the cosmic egg. Oh my God. These are the 2 that I flipped over just now. Isis and the cosmic egg. Okay, Isis is like affiliated with ancient Egypt, magic energy. This is wild. Sexual energy is sacred. My pleasure is a prayer that brings me back to life. Oh. The cosmic egg, the divine feminine. I hold the universe within me. I am the force of an ever-expanding love. Okay. I want to read the book on Isis, but not the egg. This, I got an intuitive message on. Okay, this one, I intuitively heard that as the women on this planet, we are natural portals, okay? And both men and women, through our feminine energy, we can literally create, okay? Especially women, though. Women, we create life between our legs, all right? That is just the facts. And men, when you create with your feminine energy, you can create pieces of art, music, right? Like you bring life differently into the world than women do. I mean, women also do that too, but like, it's just like different levels of it. I don't know how to describe this. But yeah, this is just a message that we're all creators. Literally all of us are creators of our life. And it's just a matter of us waking up to that, a matter of us deciding what we want and what we don't want anymore. And there's certain, I would say, limits to that, because on higher levels of things, we do have higher contracts where we chose to go through some shit. And it's funny when we like clash with that. It's funny when human us were like, no, I don't want to do that. And soul us is like, yeah, you can do it. You can get through it. Like I chose this on purpose, you know, pretty crazy. But yeah, practice co-creating more in your life. I would say I did this one exercise. Yeah, I'm hearing share your DMV example. So I literally had a DMV appointment and I was dreading it. And I was like, oh my God, I desire to uncreate waiting in line for 2 hours and recreate getting dealt with immediately. I want to have a high vibrational experience. I want to be in and out of there in 10 minutes. Like all these things I said I wanted. And I thought, okay, like, let's just see what happens. I literally get in my car. I go to the DMV. I park. I didn't have the first parking space. So I was like, oh God, like, did what I say, like, really, is it going to happen, you know? I walk in, I'm literally dealt with within less than like 2 minutes. The lady was so nice. Like, she was like, smile. And then the next lady after me, she was kind of like neutral with. And I'm like, okay, pretty cool. And then I was called immediately with my little ticket. And I'm like, wow, that's never happened before in the DMV. Okay. And I literally, like, I was like, I don't want to get overstimulated. Like, I just want to be like at the best counter possible, you know? And I literally went in this private room, like away from the counters. And the guy was like so nice to me. And I was like, oh my God, this literally worked. I created all of this. Cool. You know, like I didn't have any higher contracts that said I had to deal with some stupid shit at the DMV. Like I could literally take control of my reality that morning and be like, this is what I want to experience. And then I freaking experienced it. So I would say playing with that on a day-to-day basis, weekly basis, monthly basis. And then whatever you decide to create in the morning, like say what you want to uncreate and what you want to recreate, literally just say, okay, this is what I want to uncreate and this is what I want to recreate in place of it. Go through your entire day, take notes of what actually happened and what didn't happen. And if something happened, be like, cool. If nothing happened at all, I'll be like, why did nothing happen? Why couldn't this creation come to life? Like what is around this? What's the message here? There's always a message. There's always a lesson to be learned and something to be experienced. But let's get to Isis really quick. We can pull the last cards. I freaking love Isis. I want to see. Okay. What does Isis have a message for us? 170. These readings are so much fun. I always get access to so much information. Interesting. Okay, yeah, some of you are celibate right now, which is really good. You're starting to become more conscious of how pure your energy is, especially your sacred energy and your sexual energy and how it helps you to create. Yeah, your sexual energy helps you to create. This is about sacred sexual energy. Interesting. And also weaving in more magic in your life. How can you weave more magic in your day-to-day routines? That's interesting. Okay, yeah, some of you are, this might be trigger warning. Some of you are involved with sexual energetic vampires, okay? Sorry, I'm trying to channel really quick. I want to get more information on this because I see like a visual through my third eye of like, what's that dude's name? The vampire, like Vladimir or some shit. That's what I see like through my third eye as like a visual representation of this information. I want to know more. Okay, yeah, all right. So for those, not this entire collective, but a piece of this collective who's meant to receive this, some of you are messing with sexual energetic vampires and they're literally draining your life force energy and it's causing you to feel really exhausted, really drained, like, and it's making you feel like you're lazy and unmotivated and you're really not a lazy and unmotivated person. It's just like their freaking parasitic energy is making you feel like garbage, like energetic garbage. Yeah. Yeah. And this entire collective, you guys are all ready to move on. Like at a soul higher level, you're all ready to move on from that. So what I recommend doing is saying one of two things. You can say that one out loud, use your free will and your attention. Okay. I am no longer available for energetic, parasitic, draining sexual life partners. I'm no longer available for that. I'm no longer available for sexual partners who just want to drain me, who just want to use me, who don't want to pour into me. Okay. Do some cord cutting with that. Okay. Because I just channeled that this entire collective is ready to move on. So you can cord cut with those contracts and just write a cord cutting letter and say, okay, like this has been my experience. This is what I've been going through. This is how my body has been responding. I've been breaking out like crazy. I have been losing a lot of sleep. My appetite has changed, right? Like I look different. I'm losing a lot of hair in the shower. Every time I wash my hair in the shower, there's like chunks that come out. Okay. Whatever it is, put this in the letter. Say what you're ready for. Okay. Now that I went through this, I'm ready for the exact opposite of this. I am ready for a partner who's going to pour into me. I'm ready for someone to match my energy. I'm ready for somebody who can do for me and beyond what I'm doing for myself. Like whatever it is that you want to say. Okay. So yeah. And then just light the cord, not the cord. Oh my God, like the letter on fire. And then, that cord will naturally just release and be cut. So fire is a great transmuter. I love fire energy. And also if Archangel Michael is resonating with some of you, for a lot of you in this group, matter of fact, you can invoke him into your space and ask him to cut cords as well. If you don't resonate with the cord cutting, just ask him to come into your space and release those cords and set you free. So, yeah. Okay, yeah. And then the last message intuitively that I'm picking up on with Isis. Pour your innate magic into your own projects, whatever that means. So if you have like a painting that you're doing, if you have something that you're creating or trying to create, something that you have an idea of creating, do it. Like go ahead and pour into it. Who cares if nobody's watching? Who cares if you have 0 likes or 0 views or whatever? Like someone is going to see it eventually. Like this is a digital footprint. Somebody will see it eventually. So yeah, try not to get caught up in the attachment and expectations of like going viral, right? Like I know that was huge for me when I was like first starting online and stuff. I always thought like, okay, if I don't go viral, then I'm not gonna touch people's lives. I'm not gonna be able to be as inspiring as I want to be. I'm not touching the souls that I want to touch and reach. Like, but it's so funny because I haven't been viral. Well, actually, I would say kind of mini viral on Instagram with this one reel that I made, but it only got like 6,000 views. You know what I mean? So I want to say like don't associate being viral with being heard, because you're going to be heard no matter what. You're going to be listened to no matter what. You're going to be seen no matter what, whether it's by 1 view, 5 views, 17 views, or 900 views. Like you're being seen regardless. You know what I mean? So yeah, go ahead and start pouring that magic in there and just see what happens. So remember, there is only one you on this planet, and no one can copy that or take that from you. Interesting. Okay. I'm just flipping over the last cards. This is the next one, Mary of Nazareth. That's pretty funny. I only knew that because I'm only familiar with that name because of my Catholic upbringing on my mom's side of the family. Her message is, I am blessed. My courage gives birth to the divine. Interesting. I feel like, I want to read the book really fast on this one. Mary of Nazareth. Oh yeah, I forgot. It's not in alphabetical order. 5, page 5. This is crazy. Okay. Says, Mary of Nazareth represents the profound spiritual and creative power we all possess. What? Oh, that just gave me an idea to write down. Okay. So there's a lot of divine feminine energy lines, energetic lines inside of our energy. And yeah, we have a Mary line, basically, like a Mary of Nazareth line. But it's like I hate the Catholic association with her name. Like, ew. So listen to this. Mary, or Miriam in Hebrew, was a first century Galilean Jewish woman from Nazareth who is one of the most crucial figures in the Christian tradition for having given birth to Jesus Christ. So interesting. Actually, never mind. I visited the Sea of Galilee. That's all I'm going to say. Such a beautiful place. Let's see. So yeah, I never got involved with religion, and so that's pretty interesting that she was the one who was Jesus's mom, basically. So okay, so she has many names: Saint Mary, Virgin Mary. I have heard some of these before. Blah blah blah. She personifies the steadfast and unconditional love of the archetypal mother. It's interesting. Title, Mother of God. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that is the message. I just got pinged for my intuition. That is basically the message from her, is basically being an inner mother to yourself. How can you be more of a mom to yourself? How can you incorporate more comfort into your home, into your like bedroom, into your bathroom, into your personal spaces? So it's like, in a way, if you could mother yourself, how would you do it, right? Like if you were your own child, how would you treat yourself? How would you love yourself? You know, that's kind of deep. It talks a little bit about her story, about how she was like blessed by God to be pregnant without having sex. First of all, I don't believe that, because in order for like a human body to even be pregnant, like there has to be some kind of physical conception. Like some kind of conception has to take place. And I feel like this might sound kind of crazy, but I feel like this was about her getting abducted in the middle of the night and having one of those crazy experiences where like she got abducted onto a ship in the middle of the night and like literally got impregnated and then came back to this planet. And that's literally how Jesus was like even in her uterus in the first place. I don't know if you guys have heard of those similar stories. That there was this one lady in California. I heard her story. She like went to the OBGYN or somebody. She was pregnant like 3 to 4 different times, and she wasn't sleeping with any men, and she got like all these DNA tests run and stuff. And she was like, I don't know, like, am I getting raped in the middle of the night? Like, what's going on? Like, this is fucking weird. Like, she was having so many pregnancies, and she was literally getting abducted in her sleep, and it was crazy. And she was getting impregnated from those abductions. And so I know that sounds fucking wild, but as a former scientist, I really don't doubt it, with all the different technology and shit that's like out there, and just like all the different ways that you can do like fertilization. Like there's like in vitro and like all the, I don't remember all the labels, but I know as a former scientist that can be very possible with like my non-physical knowledge. So I don't care if that doesn't resonate with any of you, but it definitely resonates with me. So I don't really care. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. And that makes sense. Like why, when I was a kid, it just like, that whole story never made sense to me. And I'm like, there's no way that this like fictitious being just went, zap, you're pregnant. Like, no. Like getting abducted in the middle of the night sounds like more realistic. You know what I mean? Like, be fucking for real. Let's see. And she let joy dictate her response. Mary leads us to trust that we can say yes to what feels light. Okay, yeah. I feel like this is about following your intuition. Yeah. Am I in service to the light within me? Ooh, that's deep. So maybe some of you have strayed away from your path, and maybe some of you are disconnected from your intuition from narcissistic abuse and betraying yourself for so many years. So yeah, I will say this mantra that I recently learned and totally embody, which is, when I am in alignment, the universe will always provide, period, full stop. That's it. End of conversation. When I am in alignment, the universe will always provide. And that is something I will forever stand on business with, like forever. Okay, last 2 cards. We're almost done. So we have Queen Esther, the Morning Star, and Catherine Labor. So Queen Esther. My ego is in service of my soul, and I trust my soul's divine timing. This is about having patience. I know it is so hard to have patience, but oh my God. That theme of patience is so cruel at this time, and it's so needed, and it's so necessary. Let's see. 146. Okay. Haha, this is funny. Esther represents the powerful combination of feminine intuition and divine timing. What did I literally just say? Oh my god, that's crazy. Okay. Interesting. Just reading her story. Okay. So I feel like this message is about literally listening to your intuition and staying in alignment and staying in that flow, regardless of what's happening outside of you. And I feel like our ego can put obviously limitations and restrictions onto us and give like our souls like a certain deadline, basically, that okay, if this isn't done by this time, then I shouldn't create this or I shouldn't publish this, because who's going to care, who's going to listen, like now it's too late, right? But that doesn't, it's like an illusion. So it's like that fear that we experience or the stress or whatever it is that's signaling to our ego like, hey, we're going to be in danger if we like don't publish this like right now, okay? But that's not the case. That's not the case at all. So yeah, it's like our ego trying to manipulate the divine timing. So yeah, when our ego is trying to manipulate something that's happening or is trying to work overtime to get something accomplished, it will naturally block that flow, that natural divine flow of the universe, okay? That natural flow of energy gets blocked by the ego. So this is basically the overall message. This is her imperative. Trust that everything is aligning in divine timing. Trust your soul voice. So now we can all make the shift together. My ego is in service of my soul, and I trust my soul's divine timing. Before I read this last card, I will say that being 28 years old and exiting survival mode recently, it kind of feels like my life is over. I never really lived, and it's like my time is coming to an end, basically. And that sounds really extreme and really dramatic, but it's like not trying to be. That is just like my honest thoughts of how I feel, which is when you are feeling this way, there is an ego death that you were literally in the middle of going through. And also it is my Saturn return. And so karmically, I think I'm going through another, year and a half of just massive ego deaths all over the place, basically. Oh my gosh. And I think my, let's see, I think it's like the end of the year when I'm like 29. So almost 30 years old. So by the end of the year, next year, so by the end of 2026, beginning of 2027, is when I think my Saturn return is over, thank God. And then I'm going to feel like this brand new, like refreshing, liberating, thriving energy of like, oh, I have plenty of time. Right now, it doesn't fucking feel like that because I'm right now physically, all this energetic stuff that's going on, it's making me slowly detach from childhood, teenagehood, young adulthood. And it's like I'm literally transitioning into that stage of being a fully grown adult woman. And I feel like our sick, narcissistic, pedophilic society has made women feel like 28 is so old, and it's really not. Like, I literally feel like a young girl still. I feel like a young girl still, and I feel like I said, I'm like not fully through that transformation of like full womanhood. Like I'm almost there. And that's the whole purpose of Saturn returns, is to fully disconnect from being in your childhood, your teenagehood, your young adulthood, and fully shifting into that grown version of yourself. So super interesting, super fascinating. Okay, Catherine Laborde. She looks familiar. 48. Okay, so her mantra is, I am ready to heal. I am worthy of the miracles meant for me. This is her picture. Okay, so, and then we're just going to read the Starseed message. Just to wrap it up. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, so she's basically this like embodiment archetype of you can perform your own energy healing on yourself, which is what I always preach. Winter is scratching the cat tree. Let's see. This is deep. This message is about overgiving and not receiving enough. Okay. It basically says it's so easy for us to pray for other people and for us to be like, come on, you can do this and you can get over this. And oh my gosh, I pray that this person makes it out of this sickness or whatever it is, right? It's like we literally give it our all for other people. But when it comes to ourselves, we're like, I'll be fine, right? Like, I'm still here. I'm fine, right? You're not fine. You need to relax and you need to receive. You need to be pouring that energy back into yourself first. First of all, yeah. Just think about that. Next time you're like super passionate about wanting to overgive, do that to yourself first and say, okay, if I was this other person, I would do this to myself. I'm going to give it to myself first. And then I can pour from an overflowing cup. Okay. So yeah, it says lack of self-worth can get in the way of realizing that we can ask for so much more. I am still unpacking low self-esteem from my narcissistic abuse that I went through. And I want to read out to you what I wrote down yesterday. I think it was yesterday. No, this was January 5th. This was 2 days ago. So unfortunately, when we go through crazy narcissistic abuse of getting constantly criticized, constantly screamed at, being told we're too sensitive, all these different things, right? We develop these old narratives, such as, my gifts were rejected, so they must not matter. Yes, the fuck they do. Your gifts matter. You matter. Okay? And it's about reprogramming those new narratives. So I wrote down, my gifts are sacred and needed, regardless of others' ability to understand them. Even sometimes I don't understand it myself of how complex my innate nature is, but at the end of the day, what I do works. So I don't care if people really can't fully comprehend it, because sometimes I don't either, but I do know, and other people know, that what I teach and what I do works. So, like, for example, I just worked with a friend, not even like a week or two ago, and I told him, hey, this job isn't serving you anymore, and I feel like a cord cutting letter would serve you really well right now. And I know it seems kind of weird because you've never done that before, but it works for me. And we literally sat down, did the cord cutting letter together, and he burned it on my balcony. Next day he gets fired, and now he's working a job that is paying him twice as much, doing less of the work at his old job. So he literally is making more income from doing my weird creative energy healing technique. I'm like, period, you're welcome. I like being the weirdo, okay? Okay, and the next thing, the reason why we develop low self-esteem from narcissistic abuse is we also have this resentment, especially towards our moms, because our moms it's like the most important relationship in childhood, because they literally determine our survival. It's like something to do with like our genetics, like something deep. And so I said this healing mantra to my inner child And I said, I release the hold your rejection had on me. I choose to honor myself now. And then another thing was practicing self-validation to heal from low self-worth. So I trust my intuition completely, because when you're getting gaslit constantly, you're going through that psychological manipulation over and over and over. You start betraying your intuition. You start doubting yourself. You start doubting what you're picking up on. You can stop dreaming as much. I know that I barely dreamed when I was living with my mom, which is kind of crazy right now, because now I'm having insane visual, vivid dreams. And sometimes I have those dreams that are kind of like Inception. I will have dreams within a dream within a dream, and it takes me a second to wake up from those. Trips me out. Okay, yeah. So also saying my gifts are divinely guided and needed in this world. And so no matter what you heard in childhood, no matter what society tells you, no matter what social media tells you, okay, you are literally created on purpose by energies higher than them, period. So for other people to sit here and try to invalidate you and say that you're this, you're that, or whatever they're wanting to project onto you, you don't have to fucking take that. You don't have to listen to that. Okay? Because your likes, your dislikes were created on purpose. Your gifts were created on purpose. Your entire existence is on purpose. So just let those miserable people be miserable. Let them go be what they're good at, which is hating and being miserable. And thank God that you got the opposite end of the stick, which is thriving, being successful, and, doing good in the world, right? Like, I feel like some of you are laughing. So yeah, celebrate your sensitivity as a superpower, not a flaw, right? Like, so every time that you start getting sensitive about emotions or energies or whatever it is, be like, oh my gosh, like, can you feel that too? Like, this is really cool. And being vulnerable and being authentic about what you're experiencing in that moment and not giving a fuck what other people have to say, right? Like, I literally tell people at my restaurant job, I'm like, I can feel your negative energy that you're projecting onto me, and it feels disgusting. Like, it feels ugly. And then they kind of like second guess themselves, and they're like, huh, maybe I am being an asshole. I'm like, yeah, you are, because I can feel it on my arms, stupid fuck. So anyway, yeah, celebrate it as a superpower, not a flaw. And then the last thing I wrote down was perform a healing ritual. So I lit a candle and I declared, I now reclaim my divine gifts and honor the wisdom within me. So 2 days ago, I said that mantra. And then the next night, I had that Holocaust dream. If you guys haven't seen my dream interpretation video that I just posted yesterday, go watch it. But I had that dream. And then all of a sudden, my dream channeling and interpretation gifts started coming online. That's pretty crazy. Like, that happened within less than 48 hours after saying that and doing that energy healing. So yeah, there's a little bit of low self-esteem stuff that I still want to do, and I need to figure out where it's going on in my energy. There was this one new energetic filter I came up with, which was calling my nervous system, my psyche, my subconscious, my energy, my essence forward, like visualizing 5 different pieces of myself, my energy, and telling each of them, like, okay, psyche, okay, subconscious, okay, nervous system, I have a high sense of self-worth now. I love myself. I fully accept myself. Okay. But yeah, I need to do that healing. I still need to do that healing. So anyways, back to the Divine Feminine Oracle. I feel like I got totally sidetracked. So yeah, healing that low self-esteem and that lack of self-worth. I feel like we could unconsciously link patterns of unworthiness. I don't know why this is coming up. Some of you are unconsciously linking patterns of unworthiness to your partners taking healthy space. This could be friends taking healthy space. This could be intimates taking space. And you're perceiving that as a bad thing unconsciously. This is coming from inconsistent caregiving in childhood. So that's for somebody in this group. I went through that same exact energy, that same thing, so I know exactly how you feel. Yeah, and the best piece of advice that I can give you is be consistently caregiving to yourself. So whether that is developing the habit of doing your dishes every day, or making sure your floor is clean every day, or making sure you make your bed every morning, whatever it is, like picking something and then just kind of habit stacking, and then you're going to start living a more consistent caregiving lifestyle. And you're going to be like, oh, this is really nice. Like, it's nice to get up in the morning and not have to like smell old fish from the night before, because I actually love myself now. You know what I mean? So yeah. Okay. There are so many miracles, graces, and blessings that don't arrive simply because we don't ask for them. And also, when you do go through heavy amounts of narcissistic abuse, you innately believe that you're not worthy of receiving miracles. Because when you go through that amount of abuse for so long, there's something that you develop in your energy of like, why me? Like, I'm not worthy of experiencing good things in my life because this has been my entire life. This is everything I've been through. So, and because this is everything I've been through, I've never experienced the opposite of this. And I don't know what it's like to have a healthy relationship. I don't know what it's like to have healthy friends. I don't know what it's like to have good things happen in my life. I don't know what it's like to always get the first front row parking space in the grocery store. I don't know what any of this is fucking like. You know what I mean? So there is this unconscious energy within of you not even believing that you deserve to receive miracles. So let's go ahead and re-switch that programming, which say this, like literally set the intention to speak this over your energy and your entire essence and say, I am deeply deserving of receiving divine, spontaneous miracles, whatever you want to say, right? Like it's whatever you want to say for your journey. Miracles happen in my life with grace and ease. I'm in vibrational alignment for miracles to happen. Universe, higher self, spirit guide, source, send me quantum money miracles in my life. Make shit happen for me. I don't know. You could say whatever you want. But yeah, you can, whatever it is that you're struggling with that day, like if you have to go to your car dealership and ask for an oil change and you're trying to get all the discounts, right? Like, and just be like, okay, I asked for a miracle. I asked for a miracle today at the dealership. Somebody takes care of it for me and I don't have to pay a fucking dime. You know what I mean? Like you can just have fun with it, you know? Obviously that's not going to happen all the time, but like you never know. If you go out to eat to like a nice fine dining restaurant or like just a normal restaurant in general, be like, man, universe, please bring me a miracle where somebody pays for my food today. I've always wanted to be that person that someone just spontaneously pays for my breakfast. Like I want to know what that feels like. Like, please make that happen for me, universe. And so, yeah, anyways, actually, I went out to dinner one time at this restaurant and I paid for this couple's dinner because something in my intuition was like, you need to do this. And I said, okay. And so I did. And like, that's never happened to me before because I never cared. I was like, nah, I always cook stuff for myself. I don't really care. But yeah, I've always wanted to know also what that feels like to be that person in the coffee line. And they're like, oh, they paid for your coffee. Like, what? What does that feel like? I want to know. I feel like it would be so overwhelming, you know, like unconditional love that I'd probably cry. And that's probably why it hasn't happened to me yet. I'd be like, oh my God, thank you so much. To the barista. Oh my God. Anyways. Okay, where was I? Okay, it says source doesn't interfere with our intrinsic right to choose our own adventure story. That comes with the free will. So we all have free will, which basically means we all have this unconditional right to basically like do whatever we want in a way, if that makes any sense. So we have to ask for source to intervene in the effort of our own healing. Ask and you will find. This is a spiritual truth. This is kind of triggering, but I feel like I need to say this. This is a really triggering sentence. And also, suffering is optional. Oh my God, that triggered me. I could feel it. Suffering doesn't glorify us or make us more holy. At any point, we can ask for the highest possible gift to shower down on us. So this is one thing I will say about this. Because once I realized this, like universal truth, that suffering is a choice that we choose to put ourselves through, which is so deep. Like that's such a deep, complex thing to unpack. But I learned about that when I started getting past life regressed. Because I was like, why the fuck am I going through all this? Like, why would I pick all of this suffering, basically? Like, what is the purpose? And there's always a purpose. There's always a reason. But once I figured out how to do energy healing on myself, I was like, all right, how can I make suffering, like, basically get eradicated from my life? And so, like, my creative energy healing techniques are literally designed to do just that, which is to eradicate suffering as much as possible. So I have done nerve healing on myself. I have done inflammation healing. I've done urinary healing. I mean, I've done so many healings on myself that I'm like, what else can I do to make myself not suffer anymore? So I would say that is like literally the entire goal of like why I do my energy healing, is to basically like eliminate suffering as much as possible, as much as humanly possible, right? So yeah, all my weird creative techniques that I show you guys on my YouTube, my cord cutting, everything that I do is literally designed to do just that, is to help you eradicate your own suffering. And one thing I'm getting a visual of is like, one thing I learned from Kali Ma is like this grip, this metaphorical image of us clinging onto a rope and our hand turning super red. And it's like us clinging onto that rope is like a metaphorical representation of us clinging onto old habits, old relationships, old energies, okay, like old attachments to things like material possessions that we don't need anymore, which is so deep. I literally learned on TikTok, I think a day or two ago, that people will rent storage units just to hold on to things, like not like for a healthy amount of time, you know what I mean? It's like they will cling on to those things for years, which is crazy. And like, you're circulating your financial abundance to cling on to stuff you don't need anymore. That's wild to me. Like, you've got some major cord cutting to do with that. Please come find me. I literally saw that at my timer, which said 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 11 seconds. So that was pretty crazy. That was a crazy synchronicity. Anyways, we can ask to be healed in ways. Okay, I'm feeling called to share this one healing technique that I do. It says we can ask to be healed in ways we can't even imagine by handing that healing over to the divine. I learned this technique back in 2020 from this old dude. He was on Gaia and he was like in his 70s. I can't remember his name. Dr. Bruce Goldberg, that was his name. And he talked about this technique, how he would go to the etheric plane at night and visit etheric surgeons and ask them to perform etheric surgery on him while he was sleeping, to heal his knees, to heal his legs, whatever it was. And I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to try that. And I would literally go to the etheric at night and I'm like, heal my knees, heal my brain, give me an etheric massage. And I had this filter though. I said, only by the beings with the purest intentions at the highest vibrational frequency. It wasn't like I just went to anybody. I didn't go to just any being. That was my energetic filter that I put on there. But I just did this a couple nights ago after healing myself from chronic fatigue syndrome, from going through my narcissistic abuse, which is basically this energy of, it doesn't matter how good you sleep, how long you sleep, it doesn't matter what you sleep on, you're never going to get restorative sleep because of that inflammation energy that is stuck circulating in your body from that narcissistic abuse. And so, yeah, I think I'm going to make a healing video on that. But yeah, anyways, go experiment with that. Go try that out and see like what happens for you. Yeah, I think the other night I tell you, I asked them to massage my brain and like my head because my head was bothering me. And I woke up and like I didn't have any pain anymore. Like it's so cool. Like you can go visit etheric healing temples. You can go visit different, they call them med beds, but like on the other side, like in the non-physical, you can sleep in those. There's like crystal healing chambers, crystal healing pyramids up in those like dimensions that you can go wander in. You can meditate into them. You can remote view into them. You can sleep and go travel to them. Okay. Pretty cool. I personally haven't resonated with going to those specifically. I feel like some of you might resonate with that, but I'm just like, take me to the etheric masseuse. I want an etheric massage so I can wake up feeling amazing. And I always do every single time. I love that technique. Okay. Let's see. The healing might not arrive in the way we pictured being healed. Blah, blah, blah. This is huge. This is for everybody that comes into contact with my YouTube channel and just my other stuff in general. If we can hand over an attachment to what healing is going to look like, or even what we want it to look like, we can receive all the blessings waiting for us. So deep. So deep. It just like reminds me of people like who are like, oh, I wish I could heal from this. And I wish I didn't have this manifesting anymore in my body. And then it's like, I know exactly what to do energetically to remove it because of my gifts. And then when I tell them, they're like, nah. And I'm like, okay, whatever, choose to suffer. You're one of those that wants to choose to suffer, you know? So yeah, here's your soul voice meditation. What can I ask for help in healing? What needs healing at this time in your energy? Is it your physical? Is it your mental? Is it your psychological? Is it your emotional? Is it your spiritual? Okay, and then here's the healing mantra. I am ready to heal. I am worthy of miracles meant for me. Period. I love that. I love that so much. Okay, I kind of want to keep her card out in my pyramid for my own energy healing. Okay, that was the Divine Feminine Oracle deck. So now we're going to do the Starseed Oracle, which I only pulled one card. So I'm going to see what card came up. I haven't flipped it over yet. I'm going to put this back really quick. I'm going to show you all this deck just in case you want to go buy it off Amazon or Barnes & Noble or wherever they sell this in the crystal shops. If you want to go play with this yourself, it's called the Divine Feminine Oracle. Okay. My crown chakra is tingling like crazy. Oh, I love it. That is so funny. The Cosmic Heart. We literally were just talking about feminine energy. Oh my God. Thank you so much to who liked my YouTube video, because you are literally telling the algorithm to send my video to other people. So thank you so much. Okay, the Cosmic Heart. Devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. This is the card. Ooh, I want to read this so bad. Okay, yeah, and then I want to show you this deck as well, in case you want to go get this deck too. So this Starseed reading is for a specific collective too. It's not just for everybody. Oh, I passed it. Let me see. Page 48. Y'all, I just want to go to Barnes & Noble today and just be in there, and I can't because I have so many errands I have to run. Okay. Okay, this is interesting. When you surrender to a state of devotion, you find yourself glowing with all of life. You're being called to refocus your attention deep within to the intelligence of your own heart. Crazy. Okay, yeah. So now you guys get to see like my energy healing creative techniques in my process live. So this is literally exactly how I do my process. So I'm like reading stuff and then I extract certain pieces of information to figure out how I can perform energy healing on myself. So the sentence says, when you surrender to a state of devotion, you find yourself flowing with all of life. I read that sentence and I think, okay, that tells me I am not in vibrational alignment with the frequency of devotion. Now, how can I shift into vibrational alignment with the state of devotion? Ooh, I know I'm going to run through all my energetic filters that I channeled myself, and I'm going to shift that way. I'm going to go into my internal clock, my internal lens, my inner world, and I'm going to shift fully into vibrational alignment within to the frequencies and energies of my unique devotion, or whatever you want to say, right? Or you can say, I now awaken, activate, and align internally to my unique frequency and state of devotion. I feel like that's really powerful for some of you. Also, really quick, my laptop is at 8%, so I gotta hurry up. It was charged before I started this video, so that's good to know that I should only do YouTube videos for about an hour. Okay. To bow with deep reverence to your inner temple, because your body is your physical temple. So how can you worship it more? To live your life in devotion to this place. Perhaps you felt a bit off kilter lately, whatever that means, sensing that the potency of why you're doing things has gotten a little watered down or weak. Perhaps you've forgotten what made you start doing them in the first place. I needed to hear that as much as you guys did. If so, this is your call to take a moment and reconnect with the truth at the very center of your heart, to get back to the essence of what you're about, to devote your life to what you care most about. Turn your gaze deep, 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 deep. There are seasons for harvesting and seasons for sowing. Oh my God, this is like huge for me. Because I always everything I try to work on, like whether it was like my sexual trauma healing course or my book, I was like, there's just so much I want to do and so much I want to add. And like every time I wanted to go publish it, I was like, no, I have more. There's more that needs to go into these things before I release it. And so I had to literally learn how to pace myself. I'm like, okay, like This season, I'm going to do this. This season, I'm going to do this. And then it will be ready to give birth, right? Like in that kind of non-physical sense. So right now, you're being called to plant your soul seeds and sing to them with deep devotion, to feed them with the sweet waters of your own soul, to lose yourself in the potency of what it is that most expands your heart, to live your life according to what makes you come alive rather than what everyone else thinks, to make your life one big moving prayer. I feel like this is like about doing what lights you up. And like I said in the beginning of this video, is like connecting to that energy of like, I don't want to ever grow up because doing this is what lights me up. And this is like what I have fun doing. And I don't care what time it is. And it's like you could do it all day long. And yeah. And then it's like your life is literally one big moving prayer because you're inspiring other people, hopefully. And they're like, oh my gosh, like if she can do that, like how do I get there too? Like it's possible. Like it's possible to experience that as a reality. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what I'm doing right now for a lot of narcissistic abuse victims is I'm embodying this freeing living situation. And I'm showing people by authenticity and truth that, hey, if I can make it out of crazy shit, so can you. Like you got this, like you can do this too. And I'm going to show you the way there because I didn't have anybody to show me the way there. You know what I mean? So I want to be that person for many people in life. So yeah. How can you make your life a moving prayer as a starseed soul? What are your next steps? Okay. How can you shift closer into your highest timeline? How can you become more and more in alignment so that the universe provides for you? And that is all I have to say about that reading. Let me show you the deck really fast because my computer is getting ready to die. And here's winter right on cue. Okay, and this one, I got this one from Barnes & Noble, maybe? Either Barnes & Noble or Crystal Shop, I can't remember. Okay, this is what this deck looks like, Starseed Oracle. So if you resonate with interdimensional beings, aliens, UFOs, all that kind of stuff, like you're gonna love working with this deck and the energies of this deck. You're also gonna like the crystal Moldavite if you've never heard of it. I love the energies and frequencies of Moldavite. It was like actually the first crystal I ever bought back in 2020 because I was like, oh my God, it looks like an asteroid. I want to buy it. And so that's literally how I bought it. And days later, I had an out-of-body experience. And so anyways, cool stuff, cool story. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you today. And stay tuned for my new podcast getting launched this month. I have officially been heard around the world, which is so cool. I think my last coolest country that I've been listened to was in Egypt. Like that's crazy because I don't even do any like search engine optimization for my podcast channel. I just submit them on my podcast feed website and then it just goes to whoever it's supposed to go. And I've reached so many cool countries around the world. And so, yeah, keep a lookout for those. And if you're joining later into this video, go check out my Patreon membership. That is for a limited group only. So if you're into dream interpretations, if you want me to channel the symbolic meanings and messages of your dreams, why certain things are showing up in the dream world for you, if you want spiritual life advice, channelings in general, live Q&As, all of that kind of stuff is going to be in my Patreon community. So yeah, anyways, I love you guys so much and I will see you guys in February. Have a good rest of your day.